You know, I was bound to forget something last week, and that something was me just not placing down our diamond blocks into this beacon. Of course, this beacon no longer works because we're missing 3 blocks, but now I can try and go get them. There we go, full diamond beacon. And hello everyone, and welcome back to week 68 of our Minecraft Let's Play series. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing very well. Yeah, okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't know why my skin's not working currently, so we just have this guy in charge for now. I'm assuming my other skin will be back later on this week, but for now, we're just gonna be rocking this guy apparently. But yeah, week 68, and if you remember from last week, it was a lot of very short clips of us working around the place, and it's gonna be kind of similar this week because this is what I have at the moment. I might be adding another thing to this list, but right now what we have is I want to add more villagers to the villager hall. Go figure. I want to improve our base. Instead of adding more of the wall, I want to go ahead and work on the tunnel to our large pond. That's kind of the plan at the moment. New buildings always on here. We'll see if I get to that at this point. I have moved the glow squid farm on here, but it might just be tearing it out from our base. And then I have the mining hole connections, like the things I was talking about with the bridges or ladders. I want to get some more of that done this week. But before we actually go ahead and get onto it, you may have seen that this week I went ahead and built the diamond beacon over in our mining hole, which thankfully that didn't take as long as it was. And we even still have some more materials here. This is kind of a combination of last week's and this week's mining trips, mainly the iron. I just went ahead and smelted all the iron that we had from those trips. But yeah, all the diamonds, redstone, lapis, copper, gold, that's all from this week. So hopefully we don't have to go mining for a little bit when it comes to resources, but we shall see. But as always, you know what time it is. It is time for us to add those villagers to our villager hall, and the only way that I know how. We'll head over to our bamboo farm to obviously grab some bamboo to craft it all into sticks, and then we head back. Remember that we should have brought some gravel with us because we are actually running low. And then we head into the nether to head to our spider farm so that we can grab our string. And then we come over to our villagers, which as per usual, I have 8 of them, and we start sending them on their way. And then we wait for them here so that we can send them through the nether portal. Rinse and repeat for all 8. And now that we have all of the villagers moved here, we send them all off to their new locations, like so. Obviously leaving one of them here for the time being because we only need 7 Fletchers. And then we trade with these guys the usual amount of sticks, process all this gravel so that we could turn into flint to trade, and then trade all this flint. And now we trade string with them. Twice in fact. And now that they are fully traded with, these are once again the arrows we need from them. I'm not going to list them out, you can see them right there. And let's get started. You have arrows of slow falling. This guy is gone. You have arrows of fire resistance. You are also gone. You have wind charged arrows. You actually get to stay, and I'll buy those from you right now so that we can put them right here. You have instant health 2 arrows. This guy only has instant health 1, so you get to stay flat out. And I'm sorry, sir, but you've been here for a while, but you need to leave. You have Turtle Master arrows. We already have those, sir. You need to go. You have slow falling arrows. We already have those. We've been over this. And you have arrows of visibility. We also have those. All right, let me go ahead and insert the other villager, or backup as it is. And you have arrows of night vision. I'm sorry, sir, but we do not need your services. Alright, that wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as last week because we actually did get a new tipped arrow. I mean, we technically got two because we changed the Insta Health to Insta Health 2, and then of course now we have our wind charged arrows, so it's not horrible, but oh well. So that means we have possibly 6 left to get. However, when it comes to materials, I'm starting to run out of gravel to make flint, so I might need to start figuring out a way to get more gravel fast, or we stop doing Fletchers for the time being until I get a bunch of gravel. We'll see which one it is, but for now, let's head back to our base so I can drop all this stuff off, and we'll start up on something different. So I'll meet you guys back there. Hey, look, I have my skin back, and there is actually a few things I want to do around our base this time around. And don't worry, it doesn't have anything to do with the wall. Right now, I just needed a little bit of a break from that because that really took it out of me. But you may remember some of the things I wanted to do were move this squid farm, this glow squid farm specifically, to another location. And then I also wanted to go ahead and add a tunnel down here. And I think we can knock both of those things out this week. To an extent, I know I said I want to move this glow squid farm, but honestly, I think just ripping it out for the time being would be sufficient enough. We shall see. So I'm gonna do just that, and then I'm also gonna be putting it into a shulker box so that I have it for later use, because while we haven't been using it recently, it isn't useless. So yeah, give me a moment and we will tear this thing out. Now you may be wondering, Sky, isn't this like the second time that you've moved this entire farm? Isn't that kind of counterproductive? And the answer there is yes, but I don't want this farm to be stuck at our base for the rest of our world's lifespan. Who knows, I might even move it again after we move it now. But yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of where it's been right now, so that's the reason we're moving it. And alright, there we go. It is now completely removed from our base. Here are the ingredients. To an extent, obviously, the glowing sacks aren't actually an item for this, but I just decided to put them in there. And for now, I will put this away until we go ahead and decide to actually rebuild our glowing sack farm somewhere else. Because right now, I don't need any more, but in the future, I might. So I'm not just going to get rid of it entirely. That is a later project. And you may be wondering why I ended up doing all that work anyway, just to tear it out. And that is simply because I wanted to expand this intersection, because I think it is high time that we put the path here and have it leading up to this gate. So that's what I'm going to do really quick. So I will see you guys in, honestly, a few minutes for me and a few seconds for you. And here it is. Now we've got a path. Finally, this is a full intersection where we can go to the exits, or we can go through here, or we can go to that staircase. I did realize a little bit that while I have this, I did not actually put a path here like I did down near that one. I don't know, I might keep it this way, I might not. But yeah, no, this feels honestly a lot nicer. Like it actually, this is supposed to be here and not just a random part, which is actually why I wanted to get rid of the squid farm that was up here originally. And I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. It looks a lot better than it did before, let's put it that way. And now what I would like to do is work on this tunnel. Now the thing with this tunnel that I am planning for, at least, is I'm probably going to be using the same design we used for this tunnel over here. However, when it comes to this tunnel was at least the exact same Y level through and through. But when I looked at the Y levels over here, namely on this side all the way over here, because I wanted to come out about on this block, right? And the Y level here is about 64. Now if I go back to the other side and we fly over to here, this Y level is 67. And you have 66. So even if I was to put it here, this would not really work that well. So we're gonna have to go ahead and, while we dig through here, it's going to have to go down a few steps as well. Now, what I was thinking for that is if I want to keep the grass flooring like I have over here, I think what our best bet for that is probably just to go ahead and put down some stone slabs or some stone and cobblestone, kind of like how we've been doing for our elevations here. If we end up deciding to go ahead and put like wood on the flooring for these, it'd be a lot easier, but for right now I'm just going to stick with the stone and cobblestone. But the first thing that we need to do with this is to bore a tunnel straight through this hill. Okay, and now with this bore out, you might realize an issue with this, which is the fact that this goes, well, 3 blocks deeper than where we are currently at. And because it goes 3 blocks deeper, I want to increment this so that it actually hits this. And I think what I want to do is have the tunnel probably hit about here. So that means this needs to be taken down to the same level. So this is where the tunnel's gonna end, meaning we need to have about 4 sections of this completely done up. And to figure that out, I'm actually gonna go ahead and place our logs here. And there we go, we now kind of have the shape for how I'm going to be building this tunnel. It's going to be a straight shot, obviously, but now I know where the holes are going to be, where the roof is kind of going to be, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to make it the exact same design as the inside of this area whenever I get over to it. There we go. So yeah, it'll be 5 tall with the roof like this. We'll see how well this works with just 1 light rather than 2, because it is a 5 block gap and not a 4 block gap, I just realized, which, oh well, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, get ready to start building all of this, and I'll meet you guys back when we have the finished product. And here we go. Here is the tunnel. It looks a little bit darker, I'll admit, than the other one, but I think it still does its job quite nicely. And I also, of course, made it so that it goes down. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do the roofs also like going down with it, but I just decided to stick with the usual pattern we have. So the deep slate here actually does touch the wood. I don't know if that looks good or bad. I actually might, give me a second, I'm gonna test it out with slabs right here. I can't test it out with slabs right here because then these mess up, so never mind, these are here to stay. Shame. But yeah, so it goes all the way down, obviously, and I went ahead and also worked on a little bit of terraforming because otherwise these would have been poking out the top. So yeah, I went ahead and just covered over this with grass, even though honestly could probably stand to have just a tiny bit more like around here, kind of like so. I don't know. It's also a little bit weird because I have this cave right here, which I'm honestly surprised I didn't dig into on accident. And it looks even worse on this side if we come all the way over to here because, well, yeah, just got a floating piece of land right there, and it's mainly because I need to like take this back a bit. Here, I can at least take out that floating piece of land because it's starting to bother me now. So I didn't realize it was here, to be honest. There, now at least it is a cliff face, but yeah, it's a little strange, but I don't know, I'll figure something out. But we now have a tunnel that goes from our pond and technically our little mine shaft. For those who don't know, this is actually where we first started mining in this world. All the way down there, it even has our skeleton farm somewhere down there. And it, of course, goes back to here, and there's no easy way of getting back up, I just realized, because this is all 2 blocks, because I was an idiot. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It's going to be useful, and also gives me a chance to build maybe like a fishing area around here, and that'd be cool. Kind of like the dock idea I had for the other side over there on the opposite side of the wall. And the other thing is, this is also going to be on the opposite side of the wall too, because that is where the wall is going to be up there, where that yellow wall is. So, yeah. But now that we have that out of the way, what do you guys say that we go and work on the last thing that I wanted to do this week, which means we gotta head to the mining village. So I will meet you guys over there. And actually, before I get, there was one small change that I want to make to these gates that I almost forgot about again, and that is I just want to change out the grass here for these stone bricks, because I think, yeah, they would look a little bit nicer than just the regular grass. And I'm just going to do this to all three of them really quick. And I say that these look nicer because, well, I guess it's just, of course, a form of preference, but I think having it so that these stone bricks, instead of having just grass go straight through, so it kind of connects the gate up entirely, so the gate's not just closing down on the grass, well, in my opinion, it just looks better. That is how it is. So we'll just finish this up, and then now we'll head over to our mining hole. And actually, I need to go grab a tiny bit more spruce to hold us over for the end of the week, so never mind, I'll be doing that really quick too. And for as what we're going to be doing this week here at our mining hole, well, we're going to try and make some of these bridges again. Now, this one had varying success in my opinion, but it doesn't look horrible. Though now I want to try to add one here that goes up to there. That might be hard, might not be. I'm actually going to go ahead and place down a post here, and we could probably have one here maybe. I just have it go diagonal. And then the other one I wanted to do was going to be over here. And this one, well, this one's gonna have to be more like so, I think. So the first one I'm gonna work on is this one. I think this one actually might be easier than the other one when it comes to amount of work. And it's gonna have the exact same design pattern as this. So we'll see how that ends up working. So give me a bit. And alright, there is number one done. Yes, it looks a little bit weird in spots, I will admit, but if we actually go onto it, or go over to where, you know, it actually is, I don't think it looks too bad. It goes up at a nice pace. It really does not meet the requirements here of, you know, being, well, it just doesn't look pleasant here, let's be honest. So I'm just gonna add some grass here for the time being. And I also had to fix this little thing here. This is actually a slab underneath this because I built it on top of the beacon on accident. Whoops. But oh well. I think it connected up pretty nicely. This is starting to become a little bit more cramped than I expected, and who knows, I might even make it even more cramped by pushing this in and making a tiny bridge across here so that we can use these walkways without having to jump across. But now, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and work on the one down here. Same process as before, but this one is just going to be a straight shot because, my lord, I am tired of building these at the moment. And here is the other bridge, which honestly I like a lot when it is easy to build and looks nice, in all honesty. It doesn't feel like it drops down too quickly, and I legitimately like this a lot. And of course, from a side perspective, this is how it looks. A little bit strange, sure, but what isn't in this build? It's something I honestly like to see that I had to go ahead and look at every time I drop something down here, was how this looks down here. Seeing these connections are honestly kind of cool, but I think as I talked about last week, that is probably the last regular bridge that we're going to be able to create. There's not really that many levels that aren't just, well, in very interesting spots, I guess, for bridges. I mean, technically we could make one from there to there, but I don't want to do one that's just across the center because, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me, to be honest. But we can't do a bridge there. We can't do really a bridge there. I do want to connect these two up, but I'm either going to do a tunnel in the back or I'm going to do a staircase right here. We will see. We'll also see what this chain allows for. This one could probably be a tunnel in the back if I wanted. Same with this. But I like these bridges. I like having things out in the area. It makes it feel a little bit more alive, if you know what I mean. And maybe a little bit more cluttered to some people, who knows. But that is sadly going to be where we're wrapping up for this week. But we did get some stuff done. Of course, as you see behind me, we got the bridges made, so that's already a plus. Then we actually got a villager into our villager hall again with the Fletchers, which I'm going to have to start thinking about how I'm going to do that next week because we're starting to run out of gravel to make flint. And then we've got the lovely glow squid farm taken care of. And of course, we went ahead and made a tunnel in our base, which now takes us to our grand lake that we used to use for axolotl breeding. So all in all, while it may not seem like we got much done, I'd still say it's been a pretty good week. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Y'all take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. Alright, bye-bye.